The 10th anniversary season of the Kelowna Falcons is only days away now. The Falcons have a new crew of players and new renovations to Elks Stadium. One consistent, however, is the return of head coach Kevin Frady, now in his third season with the Falcons and fifth in the WCL. So in a league with so much turnover, why does Frady keep coming back?
Well, one is being out here in the Midwest through the course of the year. It's important for me to get back and be close to my family and friends so that I'm able to see them for at least 2 months out of the year. So that's the big reason, Ryan.
For those that don't know you, what kind of coach do you consider yourself to be?
Well, as a player, I was always labeled as an overachiever. I wasn't blessed with a 6'4" frame and high-waisted, long arms, could throw 92 off the mound or across the diamond, could run like a bell. Instead, I got blessed with the short, stubby jeans, and I always had to be an overachiever and work harder than everybody else to get what I got in this game. And with that, being an overachiever, you get the passion and the feistiness, the persistence, the resilience, and all those types of traits. And I think that really kind of carries over to how I am as a coach. I kind of have gotten off getting the chapped butt syndrome and really getting after it, but I'll still show my intensity on the field during a game, and just trying to, as you grow as a coach, you try to iron those things out. But I'm feisty. I want to win at all costs without putting players in jeopardy of getting hurt, though, of course.
Well, let's look at these players that you've picked for the 2010 Kelowna Falcons. How have you built this team?
I really think that Mark Nonis and I, we really focused on pitching and defense this year. And there's an old saying in this game that pitching and defense wins championships, especially in a wood bat league. If you're able to go out and score 3-4 runs and your team ERA is sub 2 or right around 2, you're going to win a lot of games. And that's been the model of success for Corvallis and Wenatchee in this league. And I think we've really followed suit to that. But one thing we have done that I don't believe those teams have is we've gone out and gotten a couple of bangers, too, that we can put in the middle of our lineup so we don't have to worry about just trying to manufacture 3-4 runs a game. I think we're going to average maybe 6 to, anywhere from 5 to 7 runs a game.
I'm looking at the roster here at KelownaFalcons.com, and boy, you have a tall pitching staff. There's a 6'8" guy from Arizona. There's a handful of 6'5" guys. Is that by design, or is that just luck of the draw?
I think it's kind of luck of the draw because we also got a 5'9" or 5'8" kid, and Brandon Creel mixed in there too. So he's going to look like he's the bat boy up there on the mound, and it might be a promotional day or something where every kid thinks he can get up on the mound. But that one thing that does is all of our guys by design give us something different. In 2008, we were very offensive, but we were very vanilla on the pitching side. And one thing that we wanted to try to do is change the menu up. The 6'8" kid out of University of Arizona, Augie Bill, he's a left-hander. Obviously, he's going to create some matchup difficulties with his height and the way that ball is going to be coming down off that mound there at Elks Field. And Matt Shelton, he's a 6'5" kid out of Sam Houston State, and he's a 3/4 arm slot, so it's almost going to look like he's throwing from outside of the dirt path, the dirt circle, with his long limbs, and he's going to be coming at a totally different angle. So that's what we've done in building this pitching staff. You're not going to see 3, 4, 5 guys with the same arm slot, with the same pitches, coming from the same release point, and that's very important as far as trying to give your pitching staff and your team the best chance for success.
You mentioned pitching and defense wins championships. Last year, the defense just did not pull their weight. I didn't think the last 2 years, actually, there's been some struggles. Do you think you've shored up the defensive side?
Sure hope so. I really like our infield defense with, the likes of Brady Steiger from Washington State, Alex Albritton. He's going to be a phenomenal player out of University of New Mexico. Keegan Acker, who's a very rangy, quick, athletic infielder. Keegan's out of Centenary having a heck of a year. You've got Bo Cuthbertson out of Southern Utah, and then you got any mix of guys you can put at first base for us. And then Jesse Sawyer, too, is a heck of a defender with the glove out of South Dakota State. In the outfield, that's still a little bit of a question, but I think we've got a guy that we can plug into center field and have be a good leader out there, kind of like Dwight Tanaka was, and the likes of Tony Nix out in center field, too, from the previous year in 2008.
Of course, last year, a lot of the players had to leave early for various reasons. The big question is, will these players stay?
Well, that's part of one of the problems with the setup of our league. Last year, yeah, we did have some injuries and we had some academic issues. We don't have any academic issues this year. And from all the reports I've gotten, we're not going to be losing anybody, really. There may be one kid, 2 kids that comes up, but going back onto the problem with this league is we start so early. A lot of these kids are still in school.
Yeah.
You know, there's a chance we're not going to be full rostered until the 3rd week in June. Heck, I might even miss the first 6 games if we play well this weekend against Oklahoma and then show well in the Big 12 tournament next week. We could be at a regional. The regionals weekend we're in Bellingham, and then obviously travel time to get back in time for the Moses Lake series is going to be next to impossible. So the one thing I'd like to see the league do is try to reconsider aligning the season a little bit, because the quarter school kids and the semester school kids, it just doesn't line up. Quarter schools get out later, semester kids get out earlier, but they got to start later. It just doesn't match up, and it really makes it difficult to be a full roster team going into the playoffs.
Well, if you are in regionals, you will have 2 coaches, your assistants, that will fill in the job when the Falcons are in Bellingham. Who is Lloyd Gage and Jeff James, and what do they bring to the team?
Well, Lloyd Gage is he's a former Eastern Oregon Mountaineer. He's got a lot of ties that I have because I'm a former Eastern Oregon Mountaineer as well. And he's a guy that got kind of dealt a raw deal a little bit, I feel, at Central Washington University, and I want to get him back into coaching. He had great success when he was there as an assistant at Central Washington, and he's just kind of got into a situation where I think he got set up a little bit, but that's neither here nor there. But the main thing is he's going to be hungry, he's going to be passionate about his job, and he's going to give me everything he's got, and more importantly, he's going to give everything that he's got for the kids' sake, too. He's eager, he's wanting to learn, he wants to be a sponge, so I'm excited about Lloyd coming up there and being a part of this, because I know he's going to be working hard to try to get a job for next year. And then you've got Jeff James, who's at Everett Community College, and Everett Community College, since Levi Lacey took over, has had a lot of success, and as far as the win column and placing guys at the 4-year level and into professional ball. Jeff played, he kind of had a little bit of a journeyman career, going to a couple different places, Bellevue Community College, University of Washington, and then a school down in California. He had to battle through some injuries. He's a recently married guy. He's wanting to embark on a career in collegiate coaching. I gave him a chance. His grandfather and my father are very good friends. His grandfather is a long-time legendary football coach at the University of Washington, Don James. And I just, Coach James would always harp on me when he saw me, hey, Jeff's doing this, Jeff's doing that, you need to keep an eye on him. So I contacted Jeff and said, hey, Jeff, you want to take a step up and coach some college guys this summer? And he jumped at the chance, and I'm excited to get Jeff because I've heard a lot of good things about him.
He must be a good guy. He married a Canadian.
I didn't know that one.
Okay, so the Falcons open up the season in Bellingham, your old stomping grounds. Now, it's been 3 years since you've been with the Bells, but is it always nice going back there?
Well, if I get to go back,
well, yeah,
it is. But there's so much that's changed there. Tony Larson sold the team to Bobby Brett. Brandon Newell's no longer coaching there. There's a new string of players, new front office people, and it's a fun venue to play at. Joe Martin Stadium is a legendary field, and it's a lot of fun to play at that stadium. But it's just, to me, it's just a game. It's a game that we got to win. We've got to be able to at least we can't afford to get swept on the road, like we say here in the Big 12 Conference. We got to win at least one, try to win a series. If you can get away with taking care of business and winning all 3, you're in great shape to start off the year. But to me, really, honestly, Ryan, it's 3 games that we've got to win.
Head coach Kevin Frady, who will once again lead the Falcons into battle this summer. The Falcons will open up their 10th anniversary season on the road in Bellingham before their free home opener, June the 11th. For this Kelowna Falcons update, I'm Ryan Waters. So long, everybody.